Dikshita, if somebody has to complete costing module 1 in 5 to 7 days, what is the right approach? This is exactly what we are going to discuss in this video. And since we have been already working on this at a practical level, let's summarize the insights so that it is helpful for anyone who is preparing for, say, intercosting. Okay, this is the context. So, if you have to complete this book, what is the first thing they should do? Like, if someone has to complete the module, which has got the whole subject has got two modules. Now, when I'm talking about module 1, what is the right way to start the process?
First right way to start the process would be index mapping. Because index mapping helps you get a better overview of the whole subject, what you're actually going to do. It'll actually give you an idea of what the each chapter is about and what you're going to what you'll be doing your sums on. So it actually comes in handy for the theory part also. And then you get a basic understanding of how the sums, what are the concepts based on which you're doing your sums. So it will not be something you do blindly. Then after the index mapping, when you start a chapter, like as a method taught by you, first go through the learning outcomes because you'll know what is to be expected out of you, what you have to actually learn from all the topics given, and then go back to the summary of the chapter because it gives you a precise and a short, compressed form of whatever is there in the chapter. So whatever the best you can understand and whatever the important things will be, that'll only be summarized. So that will give you another better understanding. Then based on what you've read from the summary, try solving your MCQs. Then while solving the theoretical questions, keep going back to the main topics and then that way coverage, if that happens, that is more quicker than rather than starting the chapter from the beginning because that can end up in you going slowly. Like if you allotted suppose 1.5 hours or 2 hours for a chapter, you may exceed your time limit because you do not know where to prioritize on which topics are important. Not all will be important. So when you go through a Q&A approach, then that way it is easier.
Pranti, so you have tried this.
Yes, sir.
Now, to begin with, how was index mapping helpful? Like, if we talk about index mapping, so how was it helpful?
So it was helpful for me, it gives the overall view of the module one. It makes the process quicker. So you'll be able to grasp what's there, what's important and stuff. So you'll be able to grasp it quicker, and you can complete the whole module in 2 or 3 days.
Fair. So rather, she's talking about summary. So before completing the chapter altogether, if you directly go through summary, how is it making sense, and how are you able to use it to probably complete the chapter in a better way?
The summary might not cover the entire chapter, but it's a good base to start. So it gives an overview of the entire chapter. So I put a lot of time on the summary itself to understand that one page so that I get the basic definitions to start with, and then I go through the chapter. I think it helps.
Okay, so two things which you mentioned, one is index mapping, the other one is summary. Both of them are helpful. Now, if you talk about solving the question as a learning outcome, normally you're supposed to solve the questions after you read the chapter.
Yeah.
Here we are doing it much before you actually read the chapter. So how is it helping?
So it focuses on what's important and how to present a question. So when you know how to present a question, you know where to look for and what to look for. So it'll be easy and you can do it a quick faster. That's what I love. You get to know the question format structure and how they're presenting the question and what are they asking for. So it'll be good. It makes the process quicker and easier.
Fair enough. So rather when we're having an aggressive or intensive target, now we decided to complete the book in 5 to 7 days. Now it's quite aggressive because generally people have a very different timeline to complete this. So when you're working on shorter deadlines, do you think it is efficient or do you think it adds a lot of load? What is your experience of working on the shorter deadlines?
Shorter deadlines increase the urgency of the work, so naturally you're more efficient than when you follow a normal schedule. So I think it has always helped me to do any task on a shorter basis instead of having too much of time because you don't. I feel I don't utilize it well.
Fair enough. So, 3, 4 insights from this learning process. We are still working on it. One is have a deadline. You decided to finish this book, so keep a deadline of 5 to 7 days for the whole book, and to start with index mapping and do the question answer much before you actually start the subject. And most importantly, your orientation towards be completely in the direction of problem solving. Like learning things just for the sake of it is not going to help. So every day, whenever you finish a chapter, it makes sense for you to go ahead and solve questions of the chapter. So probably, Dikshita, are we in a position to test them in a couple of days? So if we
Yeah, in a
couple of days, if we do that, at least we'll write a full length paper, out of which the module one has more than 50 marks weightage. So they should be able to cross 20 plus. So are we in the direction? So that is the scenario which will help us understand what we are doing is right. Okay, so the approach which is being followed is good, but having said that, the focus should be more on problem solving. How do we build the ability to solve a problem from the chapter? What is the shortest path? If you go through the regular path, you have to go through all the pages. What is the shortest path to solve a problem is what we are figuring out. Yesterday happened in a particular way, today is happening in a particular way. So if you keep on working on this, so if you meet the objective of 20 plus marks, suddenly the whole preparation game is in your hand. If one module can be done in 5 to 7 days, it's a matter of 10 modules which can be done in 50 to 70 days. Okay, so this is exactly how it is going, and we'll keep you updated on the test and the scores also, because it is important to see the outcome, not just a satisfaction or accomplishment in terms of the effort. We have to constantly check the outcome. Okay, we'll keep you posted. So far, so good.